honestly envy cheerleaders, man. I can never do flips and kicks like that. God, but that was taken about 2 years ago, right?
Yep, that's right.
But you've been, doing this for 14 years. How has cheerleading evolved since then?
We're really proud to come a long way since no coaches and just YouTube videos to where we are today. I think that Malaysian cheerleading has really grown a lot, and in big part due to the coaches, where we've really educated them and taught them the proper techniques. So I would say the standard in Malaysia right now is really good and on par with a lot of Asian countries.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I might
It's good to hear.
just be speaking for myself, but I feel like a lot of people get their information or views about cheerleading from movies like Bring It On and Bring It On Again.
It's always, it's like don't hang out with that social stuff.
I know, but maybe you can tell us a little bit more about cheerleading, or what are some of the most common misconceptions out there about cheerleading?
Right, so the first thing when you think about cheerleading is Bring It On, right? And in Bring It On, you're portrayed as maybe not a real athlete, or cheerleading is not a proper sport, but it actually is, and it requires a lot of dedication and perseverance, same like any other sport. And I want to send a message to all the cheerleaders out there to improve this perception. Our mission is like for all these cheerleaders to be a role model, to be a leader, be confident, be humble, and through that, I hope that they can show everyone that cheerleading is a proper sport, and with like the future youth of Malaysia. Yeah.
But with all the flips and all the tossing, it looks really dangerous. It looks like it's a dangerous sport. How safe a sport is cheerleading?
So that's another really common question that I get. And I can understand why. I mean, you're throwing a girl 20 feet up in the air. In every sport, there's risk of injury. It doesn't matter what sport it is.
Right.
And it's all about managing the risk. And so we have a national governing body called the Cheerleading Association and Register of Malaysia, short for CHARM. And I'm the vice president of that body. And we do a lot of coaches education, especially because it's all in educating the coaches to teach it safely. So they use proper progressions to teach, and they learn all the sports science knowledge. We also update all the rules, and all of these play a very big part in making sure that cheerleading is taught very, very safely throughout Malaysia.
Right. Okay.
And
That's
another misconception, out there is that cheerleading is mainly a female sport. Is this true?
Yeah.
Do you get a lot of males participating as well?
It's like they say, you can't be a guy nurse.
Right.
Sorry.
We have mainly girls who take up cheerleading, but we do have our guys as well, and they're actually really strong. I mean, imagine holding up a girl with one hand.
Exactly.
Like, that's like 40 kilos with one hand, and it's not easy at all. It's very athletic, and it's really a real demanding sport for the guys.
Yeah, I always see cheerleading guys with really strong shoulders and arms, right? But like any sport, cheerleading requires mental and physical fortitude. Are there any special attributes a cheerleader should have? So
it's an actual sport, just like any sport, where you need a lot of perseverance, dedication, discipline, and commitment to the sport. But the special thing about cheerleading is that it embodies confidence and positivity and leadership. And that's what makes cheerleading so special. The word cheerleading has cheer and lead. And I think if cheerleaders can really embody that, to be positive role models, that is what really makes a cheerleader. Yeah.
Okay, and coming back to the topic of cheering, who actually writes all your cheers? Are the actual cheers still a very big part of the entire performance?
So the cheer part is about 10% of the score sheet that we use in Malaysia. So in a routine, that would be about 30-40 seconds of your routine, and we teach our kids to be creative and independent. So we encourage them to come up with their own cheers, just to let them have ownership of their own routine, to be creative. And most of our teams, especially the high school teams and older, they come up with their own cheers, and you'd be surprised how creative they are. Yeah.
Right. So what does a cheerleading session what does a cheerleading session when you're going to learn practice session entail?
Okay, so a lot of athletes or people who come to cheer practice for the very first time, they get this huge culture shock because we're really into a very intensive kind of training program. And so just say we train 2.5 hours, at least 1.5 hours would be spent on just conditioning. Like just sit-ups and back raises and push-ups and handstands, right? All of that, as well as sprinting for cardiovascular endurance, agility, all that kind of stuff for most of the training. Before you actually get to do like the fun stuff, like the stunts and the pyramids, you know, because you're carrying a girl and she's depending on you for her life, right? So we really emphasize that, you know, they really have that strength and agility to do it well so that it's really safe and that we do well.
That's crazy. 1.5 hours is like a proper gym session. And this is, you know, after that we go home.
Yeah. We do have guys who are, I mean, they're athletes or they go to the gym, but, you know, when they come for cheer training and they're like, oh my gosh, this is, you know, pretty crazy.
That's intensive training.
Aside from that, do you need to be a very flexible person in order to start cheer? Do you need to have a background in acrobatic activities?
Is that necessary?
Or can you just join without any experience?
A lot of people think like, oh, cheerleaders, you must be really flexible, right? You need to learn ballet or something like that. But it's not exactly true. I mean, it would help if you do have a gymnastics or a ballet background, but we accept anyone who is totally new. We have, you know, you'd be surprised some of the kids that come in nowadays because, you know, in Malaysia, sports is not very big, you know, so some of these kids who come in, they can't even do a proper sit-up. Like, they can't bring themselves to do a sit-up. And that is, you know, that the amount of strength that they have is pretty limited. So we accept anyone, even from that level. And the most important thing is your dedication and your diligence to work hard and improve yourself. So it's all about the attitude.
Right.
And specifically in Malaysia, though, having, you know, so many different cultural, you know, diversities, how receptive is Malaysia of the cheerleading sport?
So when we very first started, we only had all-girl teams. And then the guys wanted to take part. So being a Muslim country and all, we were a bit cautious, so we started all-boy teams. So there wouldn't be co-ed teams, guys and girls. But as we went on, you know, everyone was really supportive. Everyone liked cheerleading. So we started co-ed teams and we haven't had a problem. And we're very proper with our uniforms. We make sure that they're, you know, they're reasonable and the focus is on their athletic ability and not, you know, how short the skirts are or anything like that. So the uniforms are, you know, conservative. We even consider for Muslims who need to wear their tudung, and you can actually wear a tudung as part of your uniform as long as you pin it down safely and you can use that to compete. Long sleeve and long tights, so you know we actually cater for all religions.
Yeah, that's really good. That's really good. But what would your advice be to, you know, to kids and parents for children who want to get into cheerleading, but their parents are like, it's just, you know, don't waste your time with that. Concentrate on your studies. Do that instead. What would your advice be to individuals like that?
So, back in high school, I have this confession to make. I'm really afraid of public speaking and being in front of a crowd, being anything public. Like, I really hated it. I was so shy back then, but because of cheerleading, I became much more confident. Like, I can be in front of a camera right now. Not my favorite place to be, but not too bad. And cheerleading, besides that, like, cheerleading taught me a lot of life skills, and that sports, I mean, any sport, but of course I'm biased to cheerleading, in particular, can teach you or your kids a lot of life skills. And sometimes you can't learn this in classroom, which is just academic, and it's through sport where you're forced to work in a team, and you know your coaches are pushing you to be disciplined and dedicated, and that is where you learn all these skills as you're growing up and bring it to you into your working life. And you know, I would strongly recommend all parents to have their kids, take up a sport and activity, something that will just really instill these life skills in them.
Yeah, you actually learn so much from going out and doing things, right? But so, 14 years coming, now Malaysian cheerleading is up to par internationally, as you said. What is next for Malaysian cheerleading, in your opinion? What's next on the cards?
I really hope that we can educate the public more on how cheerleading is very positive for your kids and how that is actually safe when the risk is managed. That sport is important, and when we can improve all of this, I think that Malaysia can honestly make it into the top countries in the world. In fact, we actually brought a small team Malaysia to the World Championships in the USA, and there were all the countries there, and we ranked, our best ranking that we managed was 9th place. So that was pretty impressive. And I mean, if we just keep going in this right direction, I really think that we can do it. I mean, Malaysia boleh. Yeah.
We can. First time already 9th place, man. Imagine, the other times after that, right?
So if anyone would like to, join cheerleading or maybe start up, where can we go to do so?
So the first thing we would like you to do is try and start a team in your school, and we can help you with that. We can go to the school, talk to your principal, explain what are the benefits of cheerleading, and then we started a team because we believe that your team, first of all, should be in school, like school-based, because that is what it's all about being a cheerleader for a school and cheering for your school. So that would be one of the ways. Otherwise, we also have classes where you can come and learn, like a beginner, learn to be a cheerleader kind of class. Or we have a more advanced class if you, just say you have school and your college doesn't have cheerleading and you want to take part in that. It's called an all-star team. Our team's called Awesome All-Stars, and you can actually join that to continue sharing. So there are a couple of ways where you can actually take it up.
Right. Yeah. Is there an age limit?
Well, oldest cheerleader would be 30 over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
That's
as long as you're passionate about it, and there is no age limit.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Jamie, for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we wish you all the best for your talk at the TEDx Youth Talk. Yeah, this
Thank
Saturday.
you. Very excited. Thank you so much.
Yes, which is completely sold out tickets for, but we will catch you online.
Thank you.
Thank you. But, yes, so tomorrow on the show, though, we have actor Mia Sabrina, who is dropping by to fill us on live post winning at Short and Sweet Theatre, Malaysia.
And we speak to Kamrul Bahri Hussein, leader of Gang Walk Long, about preserving the traditional music and performing arts of Kelantan.
Yes, Sharita's baking skills are unveiled in VHAX. The second part, last week we were all drooling from your that ice cream thing that you made.
The bread.
Yes, the ice cream bread. Oh. Tomorrow, more from Sharita.
And the force is strong at VBUZZ as we bring you the movie trailer for the highly anticipated Star Wars The Force Awakens.
Ucap solo. As always, keep writing to us at vbuzz@astro.com.my and follow us on Instagram at vbuzz_HD. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. From me, Juanita.
I'm Sharita. Good night.
Bye.